Welcome to Papa's Workshop. Well, today I want to do something totally different that I've never done before. I want to show you two different techniques on how to glue together the jigsaw puzzles. A little something different for the holiday season, so let's get started. After you do all the hard work of putting a puzzle together, it's time to be able to glue this together so that you can preserve it, you can hang it on the wall, and you won't lose any pieces. So there's a few simple steps that you need to be able to follow to be able to successfully glue this together. Now, one of the things that I like to be able to do is use wax paper and put that down on the table when I'm gluing it. But as you can see, I'm out of wax paper, so that's headed over to the trash can. So the next best thing to be able to use is freezer paper. The nice thing about the freezer paper, it does have one side that is very shiny and it's not going to stick. And the other side is dull and it's just a paper. So you want to make sure that you lay the shiny side down so that that is going to be facing to the puzzle itself. Then I'm just going to take some painter's tape and just stick the corners down. Now I can take the puzzle and just slide it right off. That way none of the pieces come loose and everything is still very secure. The glue that I'm using is the Mod Podge, and it is the actual puzzle saver, and I actually like that glue better. And this is water-based, it is a sealer, glue, and the finish all in one. As far as the application, I'm going to use a foam brush. Now you also can just use an old credit card or gift card and be able to spread the glue around also and be able to do it that way. Now I'm going to take this glue and we're just going to spread a little bit of it around. And a little bit goes a long ways, but the nice thing about it is you can always just come back and add some more. And I want to make sure that I cover everything. I like doing the edges first to make sure that I catch all of the edge right up to the actual edge of the puzzle. And now with all the edges done, then I can start working into the center. And what you're looking for is a nice even coat that has everything covered. And just like any other painting process, I'm going to go from one side to the other and make sure that all of the pieces are covered. And when you have a piece that's standing up, you just want to kind of push him back down. And we want to make sure that all of the excess glue is off of it. And that looks real good. Now because this is water soluble, I'm just going to take this and wash it out. And I'll be able to reuse the foam brush. I don't like just throwing them away after one use because you can reuse them. All right, I'm back. It's been about an hour, and this seems to be pretty dry. And the nice thing about it is, using this freezer paper, it does not stick. Now, like I said, one of the things that I like to be able to do is flip it over, and I want to put a coat of the glue on the back first and let that dry. And then I'm going to put it on either a foam board or poster board. You can use a lot of different materials. So let me go ahead and get this part done. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. Now, if some of the glue seeps through to the front, that's not going to be a big deal. I'm not worried about it sticking because it's on this freezer paper. Now that this is dry, you can pick it up and do anything you want with it. And this works actually quite well. as you can see. Now then, as far as mounting it, you can just go ahead and attach tape or the little stick-on command strips and mount it this way. Or what I think I'm going to do is use some foam board and mount it to that. Of course, you can use the mat board, and you can use poster board as well. So there's a variety of different ways to be able to continue to be able to secure the back. But on the surface, this is ready to go just the way it is. So I grabbed a sheet of the foam board, and I can actually just move this up to the corners, and that is nice and square. Then I'm going to take a pencil and just mark that. Now I'm going to take the straight edge and a knife and be able to cut that out, and then we'll glue this to it. And this part's really easy to do. I'm just going to line this up, and this also checks for square, and it looks real good. So I'll just score that a couple times, and that'll cut right through that foam. And then I'll rotate it and repeat the process. I'm going to use the same process again. Now the glue is all even, and all I'm going to do is just take that on there and drop it in place. Make sure that it's exactly where I want it. Then I'm going to take this piece of plywood and just set it right on top. And then I'm going to add some weight. And we'll let that dry. Okay, it's been about an hour or so. Let's go ahead and take this off. And there we go. That is fantastic. Now, if you want, we could go ahead and put this in a frame. We could hang it like this in the kids' room. It's all your choice. But this gives you a real good idea of what you can do. And I've got another one that I'm going to do. I'm going to slide this one off. This is obviously larger. And there is that one. Now this one is sticking up in a few places. So I'm going to show you a little technique that I use to make sure that these are down. Now I can use just the simple dowel rod and roll over it, and that will help make sure that all these pieces are down. So there were several that were sticking up some. There's one right there. Now, if you don't have a large dowel rod, this will work also. You can just roll this over it and make sure that all of them are even. And what you're looking to be able to do is put the even pressure on the individual pieces so that they go down flat. Okay, you can also use a rolling pin if your wife will let you, and that will work real well too. Now I'm going to start out the same way with this one, put the glue around the border. And this time what I'm going to do is just use an old card, and I'm going to spread the glue out. And again, I want to work in all the edges. And what I'm going to try to do at this time, and make sure that we don't have any of the brush marks. Again, right up to the edge. And what I'm going to do is capture this excess glue and put it back in the bottle. And I'm going to do this one more time and get all of the excess glue off of it. Okay, I'll come back in about a half hour and we'll take a look at it. I'm not sure if you can see this in the camera, but around each of the puzzle pieces, you can see the glue. And using the card like this, you can actually look over the entire puzzle and see if there was any places that were missed, because you can see that line around each of the pieces. So I like this method a lot. I came back and checked on it. This has been about 30 minutes and it looks great. There are no brush marks, and this is why I like the card better. Some people don't, but if you look at it, there are no brush marks at all. And that's really what you want to have. So if I have a choice between the two methods, I'll use the card every time to be able to spread the glue. I want to take this opportunity to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope you thoroughly enjoy the holiday season this year. Thank you very much for watching my video today and supporting this channel. Again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.